Hey guys, welcome to our review of these, the JBL Endurance Pro headphones. Today we're going to check out what they are, how they are to use, and if I think you should get them. As a disclaimer, these were sent to me for free as a product sample, but all the opinions I have are my own. Also, if you could leave a like and subscribe, that'd really help me out. I'm trying to make it to 500 subscribers, so if you could join me, that'd be really helpful. All of that though is soon to come, but first let's roll the intro. Okay, so let's get into the specs of these headphones. The buds themselves have 10 hours of battery, and the case itself adds another 20. They also have microphones so they can be used as a Bluetooth headset, and that's pretty much what they are. I mean, you know what they are in general. Let's get into what makes these more specific. How do they sound? To be honest, they sound really great. You would be surprised how far more budget-ended headphones have come. They actually have a great deal of bass, and the highs are actually pretty clear as well. We'll get into this more later, but they also actually have an app that lets you tune the sound curve to your preferences, which I know a lot of people will like. Right out of the box though, they actually have a pretty good sound signature with clear highs and pretty, I call it pretty heavy bass, but a lot of people will like it. So I think that if you're looking for that type of thing without even having to mess with anything, these would be great for you. Okay, so let's get into how these buds are to use day to day. They're actually pretty lightweight and they're really easy to get in and out of your ear. They come with different mounts, and one of them slips inside of your ear while the other one kind of just sets in your ear like a normal headphone. Once you get them in your ear though, you need to make sure that they have a really solid fit. The base of these headphones is incredibly dependent on getting a good seal with your ear, and the silicone tips are essential for this. You need to make sure you get the right size. If you get too small a size, the bass will sound really flat and distant, and it will not be a good experience. So making sure these fit in your ear well is a must. Unfortunately, this does mean that when you're talking on the phone and stuff, your own voice will sound really muffled, which doesn't bother some people, but I tend to be a little bit annoyed by it and end up talking louder because of it. So just make sure that you're aware of that if that's something that really annoys you. JBL did try to fix this though by adding a transparency mode. This is a kind of similar thing to what Apple did, except JBL's is unfortunately a lot worse. At the price, you can't really knock it, and it is there if you really want it. But unfortunately, it pipes in a lot of noise that you probably just don't want to hear. Like solid background noise like buses or airplane engines will pass through and be just a rattling hum. And even in a rather quiet room, you'll just get like a hiss in the background of everything, which can be really annoying. And also when people do talk, it doesn't always actually bring their voice in as clearly as you'd want it. So it's probably just better off to not bother with this, but it is there and it's passable, and it could always be improved with software updates. Okay, so now on to how they actually feel. Do they feel like a quality product? Well, to start off with, they have an IP67 water rating, which means that you can actually submerge them in water and they're still gonna work. You're not gonna be listening to music at the pool or anything like that, like underwater, but they should be able to get wet, very really wet, and still be perfectly fine. So that is a really cool thing. As for the case itself, it feels really premium actually too. It even has some felt in here underneath of the cat lid where you so it doesn't scuff your headphones, I guess. And it just adds to the overall premium feeling. I will say the plastic does feel a lot lighter than Apple's plastic to compare it to, but it's still very premium and very solid, and you feel comfortable with these. The case itself is actually pretty smooth. It has a rather matte finish on most of it, with a couple parts being shiny to show a JBL logo, and the bottom strip to set it down on something smooth. So with that, let's get into what I mentioned earlier, the app. This is really cool. It's got a ton of cool features, and I think a lot of people will like it. It allows you to tune the sound curve to increase the bass or high frequencies, or it's got a couple of preset ones, but it also lets you choose your own. So if you're someone who really likes a lot of bass, you can turn the headphones into that. And if you're someone who wants to tone down the bass a lot, that's fine too. It does have a lot of pre-created selections, which is really nice if you don't want to get into the weeds by yourself, but overall, it's really cool. It also has some other cool features, such as it allows you to tune what the tapping on the earbuds does, which is really cool. So you can have pause, play, skip, you can have volume up, volume down, and you can also have an Alexa assistant if you're into that. I don't use Alexa Assistant on my headphones a whole lot. I prefer to just use iOS's Siri, which is just built in and I know how to use it, so I'm just gonna stick with that. But if you are someone who's into Alexa, that could be a cool feature for you. Another cool feature that it has is it allows you to find your headphones if you lose the individual buds. The way it works is it plays a really loud sound out of the earbud, and you can find it from easily across the room. I've tried to do this before on my Apple AirPods, and you just can't hear anything, and it is like the world's quietest sound. But these sound like true, like it's like a buzzer. You can definitely hear it, and if you ever lose your headphones, definitely way better feature than what Apple has. Other than that though, pretty much software-wise, they are amazingly convenient. They don't have the thing where you take it out of your ear and it automatically pauses, but you can easily just tap. The tap isn't the most sensitive thing in the world, but it definitely works. It also has really nice handoff, so if you get a phone call, it instantly picks it up. Some other headphones I have, like the upcoming JBL 215 TWS, I think they're called. I'm doing a review of those soon, so subscribe to check that out. But they don't do that, which is weird because it's the same company and you think the software would be cross-platform, but it's just not. So when you get a phone call, instantly picks it up and you can answer or decline it with tapping on them. So very convenient. That's pretty much all I have to say about the actual headphones and my experience using them. But as for a recommendation, I think that they're an amazing value for this price. I will say if you don't like silicone ear tips, they're probably not for you, but other than that, they are an amazing value for what they are. They have so many features and so many abilities that for their price, I really think that you couldn't do better. I've had great experience using them, and I've even kept using them a little bit after I was like actually reviewing them over my AirPod Pros, and I'm actually surprised I did that. Like, they are practically, like, I mean, they don't sound as good, but practically they are so close that I wouldn't be disappointed if I lost my AirPod Pros and I had to use these. That's pretty much all I have to say on them though. I think you should definitely check them out if you're interested in a pair of headphones at this price. And if you could check out the link in the description, that always helps me out. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. If you could like and subscribe, as I said earlier, that'd be really helpful. As I am a small channel, I'm trying to make it to 500 subscribers. But that's it. So thank you so much.